What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to NoLifeTilMetal. Going to be doing a NoLifeTilMetal records and graphics update today. I got nothing to show and a lot of time to show it, so I got to get right into this. Wait, stop, scratch that, reverse it. Let's get on with it. Anyhow, NoLifeTilMetal records. Right now, we have two releases that are available that are not out yet. Both of them are coming out on vinyl and CD. Both of them are supposed to ship in September. The official release date being October 1st for both of these albums, but as always, pre-orders ship first. Both of these records are only 100 copies each, and I can tell you that both of them have sold very well in the pre-sale, enough that I'm pretty much sure these are going to sell out when they come out. So, but first of all, we got the brand new Banshee, which if you pre-order, you get this cool little sticker, but it's called The Madness. The CDs are in now. If you order the CD ships now. The vinyl is coming in September, and will ship in September. And then Vindicator, Thrash and Demolished, and the Thrash and Demolished compilation, which is a compilation of their early Black and Thrash demos, is coming out on CD and vinyl. The CD and vinyl are not in yet, but like I said, they're all shipping in September. So pre-order at NoLifeTilMetalRecords.com. Just click on the NoLifeTilMetal Records logo, and it'll take you to all the NoLifeTilMetal Records stuff. So there you go. That's it for NoLifeTilMetal Records at the moment. However, I've got a bunch of graphic stuff to show you here, so I'm going to get right into that. I'm going to start with a band probably a lot of people know. This one was released on Girder Music. Fairly well-known big band, stadium band, but this is Petra. More power to you. Man, I'm getting some horrible glares, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe I move this out of the way, because this seems to be what's causing the glare. No, it didn't help at all. In any case, Petra, this is More Power to You. This is pre- John Schlitt era. This has always been one of my absolute favorite Petra records. And again, I didn't do the cover, obviously. This is a classic album, classic cover. Kind of has that Boston feel with the guitar spaceship. And I've always loved the back cover too. So anyhow, yeah, I got to do all the layout and graphics for this, including the booklet, and finding correct pictures of the band was challenging and difficult, but we did manage to find original promo press kits from the late 70s and early 80s for these guys, and that's what you see here was a press kit photo. Again, it's lyrics, liner notes, everything is included. Remastered sound. I've heard nothing but praise about the sound on these. I have only seen one negative review, and a negative reviewer said it wasn't as loud as a reissue that came out 10 years ago. But reissues that came out 10 years ago tended to be brick-walled when it was remastered, rather than expanding the sound and making it better. It was just louder. Where this one here is crystal clear. I played this in my car. I played it at minimal volumes. I played it at rockin' volumes, and it just sounds so good. Everything is so crystal clear. The quiet parts are nice. The acoustic guitar, just like, it almost feels like the acoustic guitar is in the car with you. It just sounds fantastic. And this was done by Rob Caldwell at Bombworks Sound, so really cool. As well as the CD release, however, there is also, and I have the test pressings here. Let's see, for More Power to You. And I listened to this test pressing just yesterday, and I can tell you, I really listened to this test pressing yesterday. I put it on, listened to it at a normal volume, how I would normally listen to music, and I just listened to it while I was working, and it sounded fantastic. And then I stopped working, and I cranked it. I mean, I put it up louder than I normally would, and I cranked it and listened to it exclusively. I just sat here and listened, and man, it still sounded great. Nothing was peaking out. You didn't hear any noise at the top end when things got louder. It just sounded so good. Lots of bottom end. Well, then I took the original vinyl, which I've had for years, and other than having a little more noise to it because it's older and it's been played and it's got some noise to it, but the original vinyl, I played at the same exact volume that I played this one, and again, the volume was a hair louder on the original vinyl, but at that same volume, it was crackling at the top. It was very harsh on the ears, to the point where I wasn't even sure about, am I hearing things? Because I never noticed how harsh the original vinyl was. And so I called my wife in. I said, come listen to this. So I put this one on, and the EQ was flat. The volume was the same, and I played this for her, and she listened to it. She goes, "Yeah, that sounds good." And again, she's not a huge fan of metal or rock or those kind of things, but she knows Petra, and she thought it sounded good. So I said, "Okay, well, here's the original one," and I put it on. I put the needle down in the groove, and I watched her face, and she like cringed. She goes, "It's so hard." She goes, "It's so." I can't remember the exact word she used, but I could just see the cringe in her face, and it was at that volume. It was not. It was just harsh and hard on the ears. The high end was just piercing. The low end wasn't really there. So I'm really, really impressed by how good this test pressing sounds of this Petra album. So in any case, that has nothing to do with graphics, but it is one of the parts of my job is I get to listen to test pressings for the various record companies and give my input into them, and this is stellar. These are on pre-order now at girdermusic.com, as are the CDs. The CDs are shipping now. If you order the CDs and the vinyl together, they have a, where you can buy them together and get a slight discount. Those will ship all at the same time, and those are actually not shipping till January because vinyl production is very behind in every plant, not just the ones that they use. So, all right, next up we've got Beat the System, which was the last of the Greg X Volts here, I believe. In any case, this was a different sound. This one was a little more organic. A little more classic rock 70s. Like I said, I love that album. This one here, they were obviously going for an 80s sound. You can tell by the cover, it's got that 80s, almost new wave-ish look. The keyboards on this album were more like organ sounds, whereas this one, it's very much an 80s, new wavy kind of thing going on. It's still got some heavy songs on it, hard rocking songs on it. I would never call Petra heavy, but I mean, this has got the song God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which Kiss also covered, and they do a great cover of that song. Witch Hunt, Hollow's Eyes, there's some classic stuff on this album as well. And I also have the test pressing for that one. And I won't spend a lot of time talking about these test pressings like I did the first one, because otherwise this video is going to be very long. So I thought I'd show it just so you know that, yeah, the test pressings are there, they're approved, and they sound great. And if you haven't ordered them yet, do it, because they're limited pressings. So these Petra ones, I'm going to tell you right now, the pre-orders, they sold a lot. So they will sell out. So and then the last one, this is, I believe, the first album with John Schlitt, and this is This Means War. And again, I got to do the graphics. Also, this is kind of cool, I thought. We made the spines kind of match, but keeping with the color scheme for all three releases. And each of them has a colored vinyl, and the colored vinyl will also be blue, purple, and green. So the CDs will match the vinyl. I thought that was kind of neat. And I'll show you the inside real quick. So here's the inside. Classic Petra Sword logo behind the CD. Again, booklet. You'll see all of these have this similar vibe and look. We did that on purpose. Kept the colors. Each of them have their own color scheme, and you can see the classic promo photo from that era of the band. There is a young John Schlitt right there. And again, lyrics, whatnot. Very readable. That's one of the things I always want to do. I want to make sure that it's readable for people. I hate when the backgrounds are so busy you can't read them, or the type font is so small you can't read them. So there's the back. And I don't think I showed this one either, but here's the Beat the System inside. And again, they all have the different color with the classic Petra Sword logo underneath of the jewel kit, underneath of the CD. And then here is the cover. Again, you got a classic promo photo of the band from that era, and lyrics and whatnot. So yeah, those came out great. I'm really proud of them. I think we did a great job. I think everybody did a great job, especially the sound. I mean, I really was impressed with the sound quality on these things. So there you go. 3 Petra releases, all of them available on vinyl. Here's the test pressings. Shipping, I believe, in January of 2022, and the CDs are shipping now. All right, I've got one more CD vinyl combo I'm going to show. This CD I've shown before. I've shown it in many videos, not just NoLifeTilMetal update videos, but in car videos, and just this album has just been one of my favorites of the year. I played this thing so many times this year. It's ridiculous. This is the new Triton, and again, you've probably seen this before in videos. I did do the artwork for this one. That has nothing to do with how much I love the album, because there's lots of covers I've done lots of albums I've done covers for where I did not necessarily love the music. But in any case, this one, I just can't stop listening to it. So there's the CD. But what finally came in is the vinyl. Yeah, and like I said, I did the cover. I worked directly with the band. This is what they wanted. They wanted this album's called Blood of Kings. They wanted a sword with a crown on it and to be bloody, and it was just kind of an idea that they had, and then I executed it for them, and they loved it, and that became the cover. So there's the front, there's the back. You may recognize some of those guys. This is the original guitar player vocalist, Larry Dean. And over here you've got Eric Gillette, who's played in tons of progressive bands. And then Jim Laverty, probably most known for his work with Barren Cross. It is a gatefold, and inside the gatefold you will see the lyrics, liner notes, nice field with a lion in it. Again, lion is a kind of representation of a king. All these come in black polyline sleeves. These are black vinyl, 180 gram, custom center labels, and then with all the retroactive records, there's always the flame on the B-side. And yeah, these sound stellar, they look stellar, they're heavyweight, they're just absolutely beautiful, and I'm very, very proud of the how everything came out, the artwork, the vinyl, the and the sound quality is great. Eric Gillette did the production on these, and he did the mastering, and yeah, that just I can't tell you how much I love this record. So this is available at boonsoverstock.com if anybody's interested. CD and vinyl both available over there. I highly recommend it if you're into progressive metal rock stuff like Dream Theater and even early Rush. There's a huge Rush influence in that sound. So any of that kind of, Fates Warning, early Queensryche, that kind of stuff, I think you'll probably dig this. It's just a fantastic record. All right, so I got a lot more to show. I need to start moving. These are all going to be available on vinyl and CD as well. I actually do have test pressings on some of this other stuff too, but I'm just not going to get into everything because this video will be way long. All right, so this is Swiss. Why do I always forget? Anyhow, this is Modest Attraction. So now, if you know who Modest Attraction is, these guys are fantastic. They are from Sweden, and they have been around since the early 90s. They put out basically 3 albums, but then the lead vocal of this band and one of the guitar players who joined the band later became Narnia. So if you know the band Narnia, they've been around forever, toured with Dio, they may still be on Nuclear Blast Records, I don't know, they're still putting out music. But this is Christian Lildgren's pre-Narnia band, and this stuff is great. Musically, it sounds similar to, well, it doesn't sound similar to anybody, but I'll tell you what the influences are, the very clear influences to me. You've got The Sweet, you've got Uriah Heep, you've got Deep Purple, and Slade. I can hear all 4 of those bands' influence in this music. Very 70s influence. It's got the organs, it's got the great guitar solos. You definitely get the Deep Purple-ish vibe. This was their first full-length album. This is the original cover, although I did clean it up a lot. It should look great on both vinyl and CD. It was only ever released on CD back in the day on a Swedish label, and it was very hard to get in the United States, so the CDs are now available here at Boone's Overstock. I did keep the original cover, obviously, but the inside and everything else is completely different. I kept with the theme of the album, the clouds and everything. I should also mention that all these come with collector's cards. I should show you the collector's cards. I'll do that at the end. I'll show the collector's cards real quick. I don't keep the collector's cards in the CDs because they just fall out. I put them in sleeves. So in any case, here's the booklet, band members. Yeah, this stuff is stellar. If you're into 70s style rock like those bands I mentioned, you really dig this band. So Christian Lildgren, like I said, vocalist. Lots of band photos. A really long. This is like I think a 16-page booklet. Really long write-up on the history of the band by Christian. edited by our own Craig Phillips, who is a awesome guy who does proofreading for Retroactive Records. Lyrics, lots of photos. So yeah, it's a big booklet. In any case, this is their first album. It sounds great. It was remastered by what's the guitar player? The guitar player from Narnia, and I forget. CJ Grimark is the guy who remastered these, and they sound really good. Here's the second album. Again, original cover, slightly different. Slightly different. Now, here's the reason for the slightly different cover. First of all, the original cover had the Modest Attraction logo itty bitty over here in the corner. I mean, it was itty bitty. You could barely see it. It was kind of ridiculous. The other difference is that gold border on this thing. It's called Divine Luxury. So it's supposed to have that kind of luxurious, you know, epic look to it. And when they said they were going to be releasing it on vinyl and CD, I'm like, great. Where's the artwork? And they're like, oh, we don't have any of the original artwork or the original photography. You've got to create it from the CD. Oh, I hate blowing up record size from a CD, because especially when it's someone's face, it's very clear usually that it's been blown up. So I was like, I have an idea. Why don't we do this? And I came up with this idea for this gold border, and honestly, I like it better than the original cover. It just seems to work right. It almost looks like a royal family. But you can see the look of the band here. They, you know, all long hair. They're all wearing different colors. And they've got bell bottoms on. Total 70s vibe to this great music. This is actually my favorite album from them, and I've had it for decades, the original pressing, and I love this album. Again, been remastered by CJ Grimark. Also comes with a collector's card, and has, again, pictures of the band and write-ups, and I'm not going to show every page because, again, these are big booklets, but you can see it's got lots of photos and liner notes and lyrics and whatnot. And these came out great. And I kept that theme, that gold border theme, even on the CD. Another photo of the band. And when the vinyl comes out, it looks fantastic. I was so happy with it because I was able to not have to blow it up by, you know, and you say 12 by 12. 12 by 12 is actually the size of the record. Vinyl covers are a little bigger than that. Plus you have to add in extra, if you know anything about printing, you have to add in an extra at least 1/4 inch or 3 millimeters in Europe bleed. And bleed is the part that comes up here and gets trimmed off when they trim the paper. And you know, that's fine, but you can't just put like another color there. It actually has to flow, because if the press is off by even a hair, it'll show. So yeah, it's a lot more work than people think it is to blow covers up. Plus, you have to do, if you don't know anything about printing is made up of little dots. So when you blow up something this size to this size, you're taking them little dots and you're making them bigger, which makes it look blurrier, or it can cause moire patterns, or it can cause all kinds of issues. So you have to do something called de-screening. So I de-screen the photograph, or the cover, and get rid of those little dots so that it becomes a continuous tone image. And when you blow it up and it becomes dots again on a press, because it's going to become dots again when it gets printed on a printing press, it doesn't cause any of those issues, and it looks nice. So anyhow, great sound. Came out nice. Really happy with it. And then this last one, it's also from Modest Attraction. This is also available on vinyl. These two are going to be gatefold releases. This one here will be a single album release, but it will have an insert in it. This is actually all their early material that was recorded on cassette-only releases before their original first album. It wasn't really demo material. It was albums that just were released on cassette only by the band before they signed with the label. And this does great. Again, very much in that similar vibe. The Sweet meets Uriah Heep meets Deep Purple, with that Hammond organ kind of sound and those great guitar solos and all that kind of stuff. I did not do the cover on this one. It was designed by the band themselves. I just took their idea and used it throughout the whole booklet. I got OCD when it comes to CDs. They got to be sitting right up. Pictures of the band, as you can see, so I used it throughout the whole booklet. And again, you've got band write-ups, you've got a history of the band. This one I actually put tons of photos in to go along with the history of the band. So you can see a nice collage there. You can see Japanese pressings of their albums. You can see singles in here that they've released. live photos, pictures in this recording studio. So, and again, there is lyrics and whatnot too. So I'm really happy with how all these Modest Attraction came out and how they sound. They sound fantastic. I've been playing them in my car. If you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen me posting these because I'll post stuff I'm playing in my car. So, Modest Attraction, get ready. From Sweden, great band, available on Boone's Overstock if you're interested in the CD or the vinyl. All right, next up, I gotta move. I'm gonna have to start showing these quicker. These are also Boone's Overstock, a band with 3 releases, and we did all 3 reissues on CD. All of them are out of print, hard to find. There's Eternal Decision. Eternal Decision were a 90s kind of groove-based thrash metal band. They often get called a Metallica clone. They are not a Metallica clone by any stretch of the imagination. The reason they get called that is because the vocalist has a very similar vibe to James Hetfield. And yes, they're a thrash / groove metal band, so yes, of course Metallica was one of their influences. But honestly, if you're into bands like Pantera, I hear a lot more Pantera in this musically than I do Metallica with those groove-based stop-start riffs, and especially in the kind of, and I don't want this to sound like a bad thing, but the kind of digital guitar tones, that Dimebag Darrell, he never used I'm not a guitar player, but there's a difference between the kind of amps he used and where a lot of guitar players used like the tube amps because they have like a warmer sound. Dimebag always used a more digital sounding amp, and it was very cold, sharp, and sterile, and that's kind of what you get here too. Very digitally influenced guitar sound. It is heavy, so don't get me wrong. It's not like some crappy buzzy guitar tone, but regardless, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to guitars. I'm a vocalist. In any case, this is the first album, Eternal Decision. This album has been released with many different covers. This was the best one, so this is the one we ended up going with. However, inside the booklet, you can see photos of the band. I believe in this one show, yeah. So if you look on this collage, up in the top corner over here, you can see that's the original independent release. Then it was picked up by Kling Records in the early 90s, and it was put out with that Japanese anime cover by, I think, Frank from Frank's Enemy. Julio Ray from Frank's Enemy. He's the guy who did the artwork on that one. But also you can see their demos in here. So I love these kind of collages, and it especially works for a thrash metal band like this. But there's other stuff in here too. There's lots of photos of the band, and we kind of kept with the red theme, lyrics, liner notes, and all those kind of fun stuff. Early on, this band actually, their bass player vocalist wore makeup, and you can see a picture of him wearing his makeup right there. That didn't last very long, unfortunately. I thought it was kind of cool, but they didn't keep that. One of the things they kept. So there you go. This one is not coming out on vinyl, at least not at the moment that I know of. And then their second album, Ghost in the Machine, very similar vibe to the first one. Maybe a little more 90s modern. You say modern, this has been 20 years ago now. So again, maybe a little bit more of a, and I almost hate to say this, but a little bit more of a Pantera meets Korn influence, but there still is the Metallica riffing as well, and the vocalists. And now you've got 2 guys sharing vocals on this one a little bit. Again, I kept the theme of the cover throughout the booklet. All these have different art in the trays. All these have trading cards. All these have been remastered. They've been remastered by Rob Caldwell at Bombworks Sound, and if you know anything about Rob, you know he's just great at what he does. So, again, photos of the band, and there's collages in there. This one's got a bunch of show photos. And actually, if you look at the corner over here, you can see Extol, Ultimatum, and Eternal Decision, the show that we did back in the day with these guys in Albuquerque. So, yeah, very cool. And this one sounds great, too. And then finally, their last album, which was ED3, Eternal Decision 3. Original cover art. Again, other than that, everything else has been changed, although I did keep with the themes of the colors in the original front. Again, there's a trading card. Again, there's stuff in the back. This animation thing you see in the back here of the band was in the original one, so I thought that was something cool that needed to be kept, so I did. As a collector, I like that kind of stuff. When something's reissued, I want the original stuff, so I don't want to lose stuff, unless it's just stuff that's garbage. But there's the cover. Again, there's lots of band photos. There's, I think all these have write-ups by guitar player Tommy Torres. 2 guitar players. Again, a collage. And there you go. I mean, I think this is a 12-page booklet too. So, and again, remastered sound. Now this one, the sound is a little different than the first two. A little more. Again, they seemed like they were getting a little more modern as they went along, and 90s modern. This is probably like 2000s. So there was a little more of an alternative bend here and there, but still pretty much a metal album. Still a lot of groove going on. So, and then this one has a bonus track. They do a cover of Belltown by Deliverance, which is kind of cool. All right, Rox Records. They re-released The Ritual Servant, excuse me, Metallum Evangeli. This is a thrash album that came out a couple years ago now, and they pressed up so many copies. Those copies sold out quick. They put it out on vinyl, 100 copies on vinyl. Those sold out as well. And then they needed more copies, so they decided to do a gold edition. If you pre-ordered it, you got this kind of reflective sticker of the cover art with Jesus on it. As with any of the gold discs that come out on Rox or Retroactive or Girder, they've got the gold border. However, if you want the original cover to show through the case, the cover is on the back, so you can show it either way. It doesn't make a difference, whichever one you prefer. It pretty much has the original booklet in it, because that's what the band wanted, which is a very simple, old school looking, Metallica Ride the Lightning looking look. That's what the band wanted. But there's liner notes in there and whatnot, and there is no band photos in this one, and again, that was as requested by the band, so no band photos. So there you go, but it sounds good. It has been remastered. It was, I think it was remastered by Rob Call, but I'm not 100% positive on this one. I can't remember now. But like I said, it does have a bonus track on here. The song is called Into the Swine, and has guest guitar player Ryan Roebuck on doing the main lead, and then Robert Gutierrez from Ultimatum does the opening and closing guitar leads, which is basically a bunch of dive bombs and noise, which is really cool. And then finally, this one came out a few years ago as well. This is Red Sea Blood. Rox pressed up tons of these CDs and also 300 vinyl. I believe there was a handful of black vinyl left. All the colored vinyl sold out a long time ago, but the CDs sold out a long time ago as well. This is remastered by Rob Caldwell. This thing is incredible and sounds incredible. If you pre-ordered it, you got a sticker of the cover art. Again, like the other album, you can either, like the other one I just showed, you can either show the gold disc version of it, and if you prefer just the original cover without the border, you just flip it over and voila. And I did do this cover. The original cover was not something anybody seemed to care about or like, so we changed it, and people seem to be liking this, including the band. I did get all this approved by the band back when we did the cover several years ago. But there is photos of the band inside, which the original CD did not have. Chris Howe, Greg Chasin, who was also in Badlands and Die Happy, and Jeff Martin, who was also in Badlands with Greg Chasin. He played drums on the second and third Badlands album. So there you go. That's my updates. And quickly, I will show off these cards that came with them. So there's a few of them in here I cannot yet show because they are not been released yet. And yes, I do get some of the cards in advance because the cards got to be printed well before the CDs can be pressed. Obviously, they got to be inserted into the CDs. So you can see the Modest Attraction cards up there. Each of them have a Modest Attraction logo and a border, and that are silver foil stamped. These are beautiful cards, part of this set. And then on the bottom, you can see the Petra cards, and each of them have an period or era correct photo of the band, so it should be the correct members for each of the cards that go with it. Has little write-ups on the back. They're numbered. Again, silver foil stamped. They look nice. Let's see, there's a few more of these I can show real quick. Let me see. Some of these I've already shown you guys, so there's no sense in showing them again. Whiteheart, Dan Peak, Deliverance, Bride, lots of Bride. We've done a lot of Bride cards here. See all the Bride cards that we've done. There's like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 Bride cards right there. So, and then more Bride to come. And then here's some more. These are all stuff that's been released by Girder and Boone's Overstock. So, yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna. I was trying to find the Triton card, but who knows what I did with it. There it is. Here's the Triton card right there. So there you go. That's it. Appreciate y'all watching. Do support these, these small record companies that are putting out great music and high quality products. Like I said, boonsoverstock.com, rocksrecords.com, girderrecords.com, or NoLifeTilMetalRecords.com. I'll put links below to all of them so you can get there if you're interested in any of this stuff. Thank you for watching. Do leave a comment below. I always enjoy talking to you guys. So that's it. God bless. Stay strong.